is the man from down under with a little thunder, WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Bushwhacker Luke. I hear something else comes from down under too. The Wrestling with Figs podcast with my mates Chris and James. You gotta tune into this great podcast because Chris and James will give you all the inside info. Whoa! Yay!
Hello and welcome to episode number 5. We're up to number 5,
Number
Chris?
5. Yeah, number 5.
Of the Wrestling with Figs podcast. I'm your host, James Thomas, and I'll be bringing you all the greatness that Vintage Collectables has to offer. And this week's show is going to be a ripper.
And I'm also your host, Chris Maddock, and my job here is purely keeping James Thomas in line.
Here we go.
Just, mate, even in the pre-show, we had a bit of a pre-show, and you dropped the ball, literally dropped the ball. You didn't know, you couldn't remember who the Opals were.
Yes. Yep.
Come on, that's disappointing.
It is disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm a big basketball fan. I don't know why. It's just been a big day, big week.
And for those people listening on the podcast next week when it drops, spoiler alert, the Opals lost to Belgium. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. I thought the Opals were a chance for a medal, but seeing them tonight, no chance at all. Did you watch any of the other Olympics this week, mate?
I've watched heaps of Olympics. Love the Olympics.
Did you see the soccer tonight, the girls' soccer?
No, I didn't. How'd they go?
It was a draw with USA, which it sounds like a great result because USA are like the best team in the world. But if you watch the last 4 minutes of that game, it is the worst game you'll ever see because both teams knew a draw could get them through to the next round.
So
the Aussies just passed. It was like pass back, pass forward, pass back, pass forward. No pressure at all. You're like, man, this is like Olympic sport at its best. What a fantastic spectacle. And then all of a sudden, with like 10 seconds to go, the Aussies are like, oh, we could try and sneak a win and boot it long and nothing happens. But
nothing happens.
Very good. I've been loving the Olympics.
It's awesome. How good that we've got it in Brisbane in 2032. You know,
yes, look, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, I worked out the other day with my wife. I'll be 50 by then. I'll be 52. And I'll have 2 teenage boys by then. And that scares the absolute bejesus out of me.
I will be 49. And I'll probably see if I can go and work over there for a volunteer job or something because I just think, how good is that? Take some time off work. That's even better. I'll be nearly 50, so hopefully I'll be ready to retire because that's the plan, isn't it? Retire by 50.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mortgage free.
Put your money in the right places. You'll be right.
Yes. And have you had a good week?
I've had a great week. What about and congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks taking out the NBA championship. How good's that?
There's going to be a couple of things about Giannis in this show tonight.
Right.
Yes. And what a superstar. And I don't know whether you saw the clip of him. Did you see the clip of him as a rookie before he got drafted talking about what he wanted to do with his career?
No.
I'll find it and I'll tag you in it. But he was talking about just how he had the passion for the game and he just wanted to get drafted. It wasn't even about winning a title. It wasn't about being a superstar. I just want to get drafted. Yeah. And then to stick with the team that looks after you and not join the superpowers. Fantastic. So good.
Yeah, it's awesome. From humble beginnings as well, and it's great to see. Well done.
No one can begrudge his title. You know, LeBron wins a title, people get a bit upset and they go, you know what, super team at the Lakers. You know, you got other super teams in the past. Like, you know, Kobe, Shaq, Lakers team. But then you go, no, Giannis, he deserves this. So
yeah, absolutely. Happy. I think Kevin Durant is the biggest glory chaser in the NBA, isn't he? He's done a few flips in the last few years.
He's not the most popular of superstars, Kevin Durant. I think when he left OKC, he burnt a few bridges. So
that's right. Well, good luck to the Aussie Boomers. Let's get a medal this year, guys. Fingers crossed, praying for you, and let's go. Let's go. Hey, before we get into the show, I wanted to send out a huge congratulations on behalf of Chris and myself and the whole entire Figs Down Under community. Congratulations to Sizdog, a.k.a. David Sirianni. He's just had a beautiful baby girl last Friday on the 23rd of July. Her name, Sophie, I've written down here. Sophie is her name. So congratulations to Sis Dog and Mrs. Sis Dog, a beautiful baby girl, Sophie. So enjoy the magic of having a newborn baby in the house.
And does that mean that, firstly, I don't think Mrs. Sis Dog is going to like the name Mrs. Sis Dog, but she might. But does that mean Sophie goes by Sophie Sis Dog?
Who knows? Who knows?
Well done, David. Congratulations, mate. We're very happy for you. There's nothing better in life than having kids, and then finally you can have somebody to live your failed life through. So, you can start to say, oh, like my son, I keep saying to him, he's like, I want to play footy. I was like, you're really good at soccer. All right, you're really good. Don't quit soccer to play footy. You're really good.
Yeah, I'll have to capitalize on you one day, son. So do your best.
Soccer gets more money. I could pay my mortgage off much faster if you could get to Europe.
I can buy more figures. Come on, son. All right, let's get into the show, mate. It's a big one. Let's rip in.
So firstly, James, before you start on community news, a couple of people in the comments already. My mate Michael, who's just recently joined the group, also blames me for bidding on basketball cards this week after seeing us talking about collectibles. He wants to know who is my favourite wrestler. Well, all time, I think it's pretty hard to go past the one and only Repo Man. No, just joking. Nobody likes the Repo. Look, it's a tough to go all time. Look, all time is probably Stone Cold these days. I just reckon Stone Cold's run. It's what pulled me back into wrestling after a big break from the 90s to the early 2000s. Maybe going back as a kid, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart, Akeem, the African Dream. For some reason, I really liked him, probably because we had the same body shape. But yes, I would say Stone Cold from the 2000s and The Rock as well. I really like The Rock at the great time of wrestling, and Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior as a kid. Steve Campbell also earlier responding and saying that by 2032 for the Olympics, COVID may nearly be finished.
Yeah, let's hope so. Bloody COVID. You know what? I've actually seen you dance, Chris, and I think you dance very much like the African, what's his name? Hakeem, the African Dream's entrance into the ring. So that's probably why you like him as well.
Maybe I'll film a little bit later on and we'll put it up on the page. Put it on the socials, we'll get more followers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into it, mate. The Wrestling with Figs podcast is proudly brought to you by Go Figure Collectables. Jeff and the team are kicking ass in the collecting community down under, and we are so proud to have them as our major sponsor. Now, I saw an article with Jeff in it the other day. Small businesses at the moment, especially in Melbourne where Go Figure is located, are doing it tough. You know, they're in their 5th lockdown. That means shutting the doors, no traffic coming through your store. You're relying purely on online shoppers, and that's got to hurt, you know. And Jeff, that article, it really annoyed me. It annoyed me that that's the only option we keep. You know, I don't want to get all political, you know, I've got my opinions on COVID. I don't want to talk about that, but I just think the answer isn't shutting businesses down. That's what I will say. So all I can ask is for the whole Figs Down Under community and the Wrestling with Figs podcast community is get behind Jeff and his team. He's doing his best for us. He's finally, which we'll get into later, he's finally won the war, you could say, with Mattel, and he's finally got stock that we can pre-order from him. You know, Elite Series going into 90, I think, or 89 or 90.
Basics 122 up for pre-order today.
Right, everything he's doing everything he can for us. So let's all get behind Jeff. Pre-order as much stock as you can. That way he can keep his doors open. We need companies like Jeff and Go Figure to hang around because that's who we rely on. And we haven't got Jeff. If we haven't got Go Figure around anymore, we'll be relying again on eBay and overseas shipping and all that sort of crap that we have to deal with.
The other thing to add to that as well is Jeff still has the bricks and mortar store. Yeah. And a lot of places now are online only, like a lot of the other collectible businesses within Australia. But having a bricks and mortar store means you can take your kids in there. You can actually see the figures before you buy them. And there's something a lot more special. Like I remember as a kid going to World for Kids or going into Toys R Us and seeing those figures on the pegs now, and even now taking my own son in to see figures at Toy Mate or Target. I showed a photo last week. It's different. It's different being able to see it than it is just clicking on a button and getting it to your house. The thrill is different, especially if you see something that you weren't expecting. So, support local, get behind them.
Yeah. And I will say one last thing. So Jeff's given me permission to say this, and I just wanted to thank everyone in the community that has already supported Jeff and used the code FDU5 to receive your 5% off. But as you know, Jeff has now got Series 88 and Series 89 pre-orders up. Elite figures up for pre-order. So he has to break even. Jeff has to sell 600 on a monthly basis. So far, he's at 129. And the next lot of figures that are coming in for him will be mid-August. So if you haven't done so, as I said, let's support Jeff. Let's support Go Figure. Buy your figures from there. They're reasonably priced. You're not going to be paying exorbitant shipping fees. And I think if you spend $100 or more at Go Figure, it's free shipping. So let's get behind him, guys. 600 figures per month isn't that much when we've got a big community here and it's growing, and Jeff's doing all he can. So let's go. Let's get behind him.
FDU 5% off.
Yep. FDU store wide, not just on wrestling figures, guys. It's store wide. Pops, Marvel, Turtles, whatever it may be, sports cards, DVDs, whatever. All right, if you're listening to the show for the first time, we have a private Facebook group community called Figs Down Under, and it's an amazing community of like-minded collectors supporting one another. It's open to the world. Please join. Come and jump on Facebook. Look up Figs Down Under, answer the 3 questions, and Chris and I will welcome you with open arms. It's a lot of fun, Chris, isn't it? The group.
It is. It's actually 4 questions.
4 questions, sorry. Sorry about that.
So, I know that you're very much the disciplinarian of the page, though, aren't you?
I am, mate. Got to have rules.
You got to have rules. You're very good with your rules. I'm a bit more just come on in, do whatever you want. Don't worry about
it. Well, mate, I think having rules, you keep the unwanted herd out, if you know what I mean.
The riffraff.
The riffraff. That's better. That's a better word.
The riffraff out.
That's a better word. Okay, up next. So figure news. My God, what a weekend, what a week, and it's still going, mate. With a few more releases coming out in the coming days. So I'll kick it off with Heels and Faces. Congratulations, Zombie Sailor Toys. You are absolutely nailing this. I'm very excited about this line. I say it every single podcast, and I probably will continue to say it every single podcast. So over the San Diego Comic-Con week of reveals, he announced Jack Tunney, Raven, RVD, and this morning I woke up to see that he's announced Bill Fonzie. Now, not only that, he revealed the backing card for the Jeff Jarrett figure. Congratulations, John Lucas Reyes, who designed that card. And then he released the hand-painted prototype of Double J Jeff Jarrett. Amazing figure. It copped a little bit of slack for I guess its eyes. I'm going to say its eyes are very pretty. But then he took another photo of it, which I haven't shared in the group yet, that looks more spot on. So it must be a lighting and the way that reflects off his face.
I trust Zombie.
Trust Zombie. And that figure there, it's 25 years in the making. It's available worldwide. Pre-orders are now open with Patreon members on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast group. However, it's open worldwide. Pre-order for 2 weeks only on the 28th of July, which is tomorrow, but that's American time, which would be Thursday the 29th at 10:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be what your time, Chris? That'll be 8:30.
So,
Western.
James, I'm going to ask you a question about this.
Yeah.
So why do, like, I know the Major Wrestling Figure Pod and Zombie are quite in bed together, but why is there a pre-order for them if it's not going to sell out? What benefit does that? Maybe they get a bonus.
They must get a discount. Who knows? I'm not too sure.
Maybe they get a card. I think they might get a collector card.
Okay. Well, if anyone in the group is a patron of that group, let us know. Let us know what the benefits are. But
the figure's spot on. is absolutely spot on. Now,
Yeah.
I saw the face, and